Hello everyone and welcome to Hearthstone for Noobs. I'm Stonerino and today we are doing spell damage decks with the Rogue, I believe. Yep, we're playing the Rogue today. So, once again we're going to start by going through the basic cards I'm sure you're getting used to by now. Kobold Geomancer, Dalaran Mage, Ogre Magi, Azure Drake, and Archmage. Those are our spell damage buffers, and the Rogue is a really fun class for something like this because we have a lot of spells that do damage. Okay, so we've got Backstab. That's one of the basic cards that comes with the collection. And Deadly Poison. This card combos with, where is it? Blade Flurry. So that you can play Deadly Poison, get your weapon up to 3 attack or possibly more if it's already been buffed, and then play Blade Flurry to do that damage to everything on the board and your opponent's face. So hopefully we're going to get some fun Blade Flurry combos out later on. We've got Sinister Strike, which is another card that comes with a set, and really you're not going to use that often in a Rogue deck, but today we're going to fit it in there and we're going to see how much extra damage we can get in with that. The Blade Flurries that I already talked about, and Eviscerate is a common Rogue card, but one you have to make. It is definitely one if you don't have and you're playing Rogue you're going to want. Shiv is a basic card. Phantom Knives is a basic card. SI7 Agent. Here's a card that you are going to want if you're playing Rogue. You'll probably notice in the other videos I've made, I'm going to say, okay, this card is a class card for this class, and it's really a useful card, and that's why you're going to see it in this deck, because really it's going to be in pretty much every deck that you make with this class. I would say there might be a deck or two out there that don't have SI7 Agent that are Rogue decks, but I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I've seen one. Yeah, and he does 2 damage when he comes out. Now his damage isn't going to be buffed by our spell damage minions, but he's still quite effective. We've got the Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil, and this is a common card, so cheap to craft, and give your weapon plus 3 attack, combo, give a random friendly minion plus 3 attack. There's a lot of Rogue cards will say combo on them where they do something, and then if you actually manage to play another card before that, they will do something else as well, and it's normally quite a good buff, just like the SI7 Agent. If you play him on his own on turn 3, he doesn't deal 2 damage, but if you play something before him on the same turn, he will do 2 damage as he's played. We got 1 Assassinate just in case we need to take care of something kind of scary, and since it's a Rogue deck, we've got Vanish, because this is a fun card, and hopefully we'll find a good spot for it, and I can explain better uses than just to get rid of 2 or 3 things off the board. You have to remember when you use Vanish that it also returns your minions to your hand. And then the last basic Rogue card we have is Sprint. This is an expensive way to draw cards, but there are times when you will have 7 or more mana, and it's perfectly fine just to use it and try and refill your hand. And you'll notice in this deck we don't have any epic cards, and I normally, like I said, I want to try and include an epic card in just about every deck just to highlight one, but I don't have any Rogue epics at the moment, and I'm not prepared to craft any yet. I have disenchanted a couple Cogmaster's Wrenches. I've disenchanted a Patient Assassin before. I've disenchanted Sabotage a couple times. I've disenchanted Kidnapper. So I've had different Rogue cards, and they do different things. But if you're going to get Rogue epic cards, you want preparation. And this is a card that as soon as I get sort of more serious about my Rogue deck and have the dust for it, I'm going to be making 2 of these. Right now I'm just not sure if I want to spend my dust on that. Having said that, there is one other card missing from this deck that would be nice to have just for the purpose of this exercise, and that's Headcrack. I don't know why the graphics aren't working great. It's probably a bug of some sort. But as you can see, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, combo, return this to your hand next turn. So if you play something and then play this card on a turn, they're going to take the 2 damage, and then you're going to get the card right back to use again. But as we're doing spell damage buffing, this would be a really fun card, because if you had a couple of minions out that spell damage buff it, then you're going to do extra damage and get the card back over and over and over. It really can accumulate a lot of damage. So if you're playing Rogue, this one's probably worth crafting for 100. Nope, then again it's not. Really, unless you're doing this, which you're not even going to get to see how that card works in this situation. It really isn't that great of a card, to be honest. It would be really great in this deck, but right now I'm not going to waste my dust making one. And one omission from this deck, which normally rogues run, is Sap. And as you can see, it's a basic card, so it comes with the rogue set. And it's kind of a do-nothing card. It returns an enemy minion to your opponent's hand, and that just means that they lost that much mana on the previous turn. They're going to play it again. It might slow down their progress, but really, Sap is a card that if you're running it, and most rogues do, you're going to save it till you're going to save it till a turn where you can want to kill something or do a lot of damage to their face, and use it on a taunted minion or something like that. Okay, anyway, let's get stuck into the game and see if this rogue deck. See if this rogue deck is any good. Unfortunately, I haven't backed up to the beginning of rank 20. So I think we're going to go ahead and just start at rank 19. It really isn't a huge difference, and perhaps we'll kind of climb the ladder here from video to video. But I think we're going to get the same sort of point across. I don't think there's a great deal of difference between the capability of the decks at rank 20 and the capability of decks at rank 19 from our opponents. Well, it is kind of scary getting a Hunter right away. But we do have our cheap spell buffing. That's good. And we should keep one Blade Flurry just in case he does sort of develop a board early and we need to figure out a way to get rid of stuff. Sinister Strike we're never going to use on turn 1 because we want extra damage when we play it, if at all possible. Might even be a kill shot. Okay, Fan of Knives is really good because now with this guy on the board we can do 2 damage to everything on the board. And he's going Hero Power. I'd really like to draw my Deadly Poison. I don't, so we're going to play Kobold. He doesn't really have a reason to kill this right away. If he has Arcane Shot, he might. But beyond that, okay, so that's an explosive trap most likely. He's going to load it up to make sure that this dies. And we're going to indulge him. Yep. And now we're going to go ahead and make knives and put a little stab on his face. A little bit of revenge for that explosive trap. Ideally, when you're the rogue, if you can afford it and you have the mana, you want to be able to reset your knives before you end your turn. So in case you draw a buff for them, that you can, buff them easily and make sure you get the full effect of it. But we didn't, and it doesn't really matter right here. So we're the rogue, and occasionally we're going to need to ping something off with our hero power, but we don't want to get involved in too much battling where we're just hitting stuff constantly to kill it, because it's going to hurt in the long run. What's he doing? I don't know why he did that, but that's awesome. He did it so that these trade, but they're not going to trade. We're going to shiv him and draw a card, and we're going to play Fan of Knives and draw a card. And then we're going to punch him. And we've drawn into Backstab, which is really good because we can do some serious damage for free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gotta remember not to draw so that we have more than 9 cards in our hand at the end of a turn. Okay, the fact that he charged with that means that he's planning on playing another big creature, possibly like a Stranglehorn Tiger or something like that. So we definitely want to kill this. And we're going to do it in a pretty... Let's see here. When I eviscerate him, it dies. So what else goes with Eviscerate right now that we want to do? Not a lot, right? So we'll make weapon, put that on there. Kill this, and start Alright, that is actually a pretty solid turn. Watch him play another Tundra Rhino. Or an Eagle Horn Bow, and he kind of has to kill my minion here. Which is great, because he takes another 4 damage, and now we're really, he constantly is putting pressure on us too, but we're really staying on top of him, which when you're playing against a hunter, that's fantastic. Okay, so here is a perfect example of where it's good to sprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to. The problem is that we're going to overdraw. And in fact, we don't have to overdraw. So we're going to go Sinister Strike. There's a spot to use it where it fits nicely. 5, which puts us up to 9 cards. And now we won't lose any cards on the following turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct. Okay. Unless he has a monster flurry here, I don't think we're going to lose this game. We've got Knives. We've got Sharp Will. We've got Eviscerate. I think we're going to need it all. Okay, let's think here. Sharp Will is 4. We hit him for 4. And then we Eviscerate 4 more, which puts him at 8. And it doesn't kill that, so he gets life. So we're going to play this. We're going to backstab that. We're going to shiv that. And we're going to hope he doesn't have enough damage to kill us in one turn. I don't see him doing that. He's got 5 here. This is probably another explosive trap. Yes, it is. See, he's using the Hunter's Mark, knowing that when I attack in, I won't be able to hit him because it will die. Oh, and he's got Gasrilla. It would be really nice to draw Assassinate right now. That's just lovely. Is it possible to kill him? That's the question. Well, let's test it. Make sure. That's explosive, right? It's a freezing trap. Okay. Right now, it kind of does the same thing. So we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to play a minion. So that now he has to kill this, which he can't immediately kill just with 1 hit. And if he doesn't kill this, then we definitely win on the next turn. He could always kill us this turn, but I don't see that happening. There's some face damage. Oh. Cheap beast. It's not enough. Kill command. What? You're joking, right? Okay, we win. We have lots of ways to win. That's how good this turned out. So we'll backstab for free. We'll make our knives big. We'll eviscerate him for lots. We'll throw in that on top. We'll hit the dog for funsies. And then we'll punch him real hard. Easy game. And we carry on the winning streak that was started by the Druid. That's fun. And now we're at rank 18. And now you can see also as well from the previous videos that, these decks are all semi-viable and are going to still give you a little bit of consistency, provided that you have the consistency of the deck to see that, you need X, Y, and Z minions to help buff X, Y, and Z spells, and that if you have all of that stuff in your hand, it's not going to be the best deck in the world, but it's going to be fairly formidable, especially, when you're getting started, when you haven't got a lot to work with and you're working the lower ranks on the ladder. I would say stuff changes more seriously once you hit sort of rank 15, and then again like sort of rank 12 or 10. Every 5 ranks or so you see like some really big changes in the consistency of the players and how well they do it. I think we can keep the 4-drop as well. So we have a turn 2, a turn 3, and a turn 4. And now we can coin out to turn 1. So that is actually fairly promising. I can force her to use a spell on this. Oh, that thing. Okay, so here is an example of a place where you coin your hero power, because we want this dead. And we don't want to put this out and be able to let that trade for free, cheap, with that. The fact that they played a Clockwork Gnome means that there's 2 decks that they could be playing. I mean, they could just have a shit deck with basic cards, but they could have a Mech Mage deck, or what this looks like is a Tempo Mage deck, where they use the cheap spare part spells to buff a card called Flame Waker, which does 2 damage to everything. Whenever you play a spell, it'll do 2 random damage. And if you can play like 5 or 6 spells, or even like 2 or 3 spells on a turn, well, it's doing 4 to 6 damage randomly, and that can really mess your board up. I don't have any combos on the next turn that are going to be like cheap enough, So we're going to go ahead and play the kobold, allow them to trade if they have to, and I'll just carry on with the with trying to get minions out on the board as we go. On top of that, there's a chance that they go face, and we get to use this for spell power. And if not, no. Okay, so now he's going to get a spell, secret, and that secret is Mirror Entity. That's what this deck does. This deck uses Mirror Entity to it's a tempo mage, and it tries to gain tempo on the player by getting better. You play a card, and then they get that card plus what they've already got on their board. That keeps them like ahead of the game. Now, since we don't really have a combo, I mean, we could do that. We could do Fan of Knives and just kill this guy. But I kind of want to save it because I don't think it's that dangerous right now. So what I want to do is attack in, keep doing a little bit of damage, and oh, okay, excellent. It's Ice Barrier. I say excellent, if you guys are watching this and you're not used to the game, you're not used to the cards, well, Ice Barrier, as you can see, gives them 8 more health, or 8 armor, and you might go, oh, that's not excellent, they just, now they've got 36 health. Well, that's not the problem. We're going to kill them eventually. The problem is that if they gain too much momentum against us, it can be frustrating. And see, like here, this is fine because they've got minions that can't attack, and they've got one tiny minion that doesn't do very much damage. So we're going to play a reasonable minion. We're going to hit that, because we don't want them to think that we have a card that's going to, kill everything in one go. And at the same time, if for some reason we find a different play, we're going to end up hitting that again to kill it to get through it. But right now, Fan of Knives. Okay, we'll play Loatheb, so that way I can't actually attack. I can't use a spell right now on this turn. That's okay. So now we actually do, like I said, get to go that way. I'm going to play him, get out our kobold, and then, what's he going to do on this turn? Blizzard? I mean, yeah, when we were playing Blizzard, we were playing it right. He's going to Frostbolt and kill that. He's probably going to kill the other one with Loatheb. But if he's greedy and goes face, that's going to be better for us. Gay Missiles. Okay, so he kind of got the little spell deck rocking a little bit. This is definitely, I would say, Flame Wakers are in here, and as you can see, we're taking quite a beating right now. So, how good can we get here? I think we need to keep stuff out to challenge, and we need to kill that to limit his spell damage. Now, he might play a Flame Cannon here and kill this, but I'm really hoping that they just trade. This game is definitely not looking too good. Okay, Dr. Boom. So if you guys have played probably even a little bit, I'm sure you've seen this card plenty. And this card is a great legendary card, and is one of the cards that if you do get enough dust to craft a legendary, you're going to want to spend it on him in 90% of the cases. At least right now, it's just too good of a card. But we're under serious pressure right now. If, for example, they had 2 fireballs in their hand, we're dead. If they have, let's see, 9, 10, if they have a fireball, we could be dead. or at least close to dead. So let's see. What would be ideal is if we could play this, and this, and this on the next turn. Chooses to fireball the minion, which is interesting. I mean, obviously he's pretty sure he's going to kill me on the next turn. I'm just hoping that this isn't counterspell. How much mana do we need? You know, it's not going to kill Dr. Boom, so it doesn't matter. I think we're just dead here. But I'll just show you guys anyway how this would work. So, Deadly Poison, Tank Oil, and then Blade Flurry would destroy your weapon and do 6 damage to everything. So we're actually 1 damage off. If we had a spell damage plus 1 creature on the board, we'd be there. But unfortunately at this point we don't. So before you destroy your weapon and deal its damage to all enemies, you always use your extra attack, which here we're going to have to do it on face. We would generally do it face anyway. Yep. You win. But we are showing people what's up. So there you go. Good game. And we're 1-1 with the rogues. I mean, this is the problem. I mean, if we had drawn Assassinate, it might have been a different story. On the previous turn, we would have been able to get rid of Dr. Boom. But as you face more developed decks, and even just random, reasonable playable decks that have a couple of strong legendaries in them, it really does help. It really makes a difference. And you saw Lothab, the turn 5 card that he played, which was a 5/5 and made all of my spells cost 5 more for that turn. That card is when it came out, was pretty much in every deck, the same way that the Dr. Boom card you just saw is also in pretty much every deck. Lothab is not quite in every deck anymore these days, but he's still a very good card. And unfortunately, you can't craft Lothab. That's a card you're going to have to get via opening the Noxramas expansion, and that's going to either cost you $25 to open all of it at once, or it's going to cost you 700 gold to open one wing at a time. And like I said, it's a grind. It takes about a week of solid grinding to get all that gold, but if you've got the time and if you want to play Hearthstone fairly seriously, it is probably worth working your way through these expansions. I would almost suggest doing Noxramas before you do Blackrock Mountain if you choose to do this. I mean, you could do one wing of each, like one at a time, but the cards do tend to synergize with each other in each set. So if you're going to do one wing of one of them, you probably want to focus on that expansion and finish that one first. And I would probably suggest Noxramas to beginners because it's got some really powerful cards that it comes with, and they're quite easy to use, and they really can affect a lot of your decks pretty well. Whereas the Blackrock Mountain expansion is a little bit more tricky. The Dragon synergy isn't as strong as some of the other synergies in the game, and at the end of the day, you're going to have more developed decks in order to get the full value out of the Blackrock Mountain expansion. Okay, so we can shiv it, we can backstab it, and shiv it, and hit it. And I think right now let's play. I don't want to use Deadly Poison yet. Shiv is fine because we just, we cycle cards, and I'm happy cycling cards. What I'm going to do here, though, is I am going to use the coin and make a new weapon. So on the next turn, when we have 4 mana, we can give our weapon plus attack and get to the full 2 swings out of it, and then we can play the SI7 agent as part of a combo and deal 2 damage to something that's on the board or her face, depending on which way the damage needs to go.
You shall not pass.
Ironically, she plays a 4 health minion, so we're going to have to hit it and hit it with the SI7 agent, but that's okay because it's worth just clearing the path. As a rogue, we need a clear path, and we don't have sap to do that for us.
This guy's toast.
Here we go.
Job's done.
So it's unfortunate we have to waste 5 damage on a 1-drop 0/4 minion. But at the same time, we don't take any damage from it when we hit it, so that's kind of a fair trade-off in that sense. That's their whole turn. Nope, Frost Nova. That's terribly inefficient. So, yay us. That's not bad. Let's see here. We can't play a minion yet. So we may as well shiv and cycle through a little bit here. There's a minion. What we're going to do though is we're going to do that. We're going to make knives and we're going to buff it. So we have another full set of swings, and we've pulled the health back to where we're ahead now, and they are going first. So after 5 turns each, we are 1 health ahead, 1 minion ahead, and 6 plausible attack ahead in hand, 6 damage. So we're ahead. Now turn 6, what do they want to do? They don't have a Frostbolt, obviously. I'm going to use that to kill my 3/2. And then I'm going to kill that with this, and draw a card on the next turn. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. We can keep applying pressure with the weapons, because that's kind of what you do as the rogue, is you just keep applying pressure with your weapons, unless you specifically need them as a board is developing and you're trying to save it for Blade Flurry. Considering the fact that we have the Tink Oil in our hand, we certainly can just go ahead and keep pressing with this. She's actually probably going to trade here, but if she goes face, that's good for us. See? And that's great when they trade was that a 6-mana minion? A 6-mana minion. Has to trade into a 2-mana minion. That's like really great for us. So we're going to take the card draw. We're going to hit her pretty hard. We're going to make new knives. So on the next turn, we can add the Tink Oil and just really get a powerful swing. Now it's possible she kills the Drake. And it's possible that we're not going to end up using the Tink Oil in the next turn. But I would say right now it's looking like it's going to happen. Question is, does she play a taunt? She does not play a taunt. She's planning on trading these things here. No taunt. Oh, you bitch. Okay. Frostbolt kills that. That means I can't just attack her really hard. So that costs 4. And he costs 3. I'd really like to have a minion out when I do this, so it's going to have to go that way. Otherwise, no, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. And the reason we're not attacking with the knives this turn is, like I said earlier about the Blade Flurry combo, we want to get this onto it. Hit her in the face. And then Blade Flurry, since it has we'll have 1 durability left, we'll be able to still get an extra face. And it's going to be like hitting her twice anyway in 1 turn. Fireball. She got a fireball. There it is. So I think she's going to have to polymorph this guy because, you know, what else is she going to use to deal with him? Is Vanish the... Oh yeah, Vanish is the play here. Okay, look. This seems like really an overuse of this spell, but what's going to happen is I'm going to Vanish. It's going to send this back, and then I'm going to play this. And she shouldn't remove this because it's not very strong looking. And then we'll be able to play this on the next turn and kill him. And I could have got 2 attacks in by now and made new knives, but we failed to do that just because we've been trying to set this kill shot. And you don't want to get too caught up in the kill shot if it would just be effective to keep hitting them. Although having said that, the way that this whole situation's worked out, I think it doesn't really hurt us too much that we've missed those 2 damage. More stuff, not taunt. That works. Now we can win. Okay. We need to combo this. So, play Fan of Knives. Play that. Got 4. 8. And this is going to do 5 damage, so we're close. We're not going to kill her, but we're basically guaranteed to kill her on the next turn, because he's going to do 2 damage anyway. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to be able to play something and then him and do 2 damage. So unless she heals up a lot, he's always going to hit her in the face and kill her. You'll notice when I play mages, I refer to them as her. When I play rogues, I refer to them as her. It's just a natural habit, I guess. Double owl. Mirror image. It's just not good enough.
The pleasure is mine.
It will be my pleasure when I kill you. Oh, so many ways to do it. We should do some BM. We have 10 mana. That costs 10 mana, so watch. This is proper BM. Hit that. Like, no, I gotta hit that. And then you play him. Like, oh, she's like, that's a big minion. I hope he doesn't have Eviscerate. And then we're gonna go this, and we're gonna kill that. And we're gonna go, oh no. I just realized I could have killed you. And then we're gonna pretend we made a mistake. And then we're gonna wait a second. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What the fuck? I've only got 1 mana. I could have just killed him. What am I gonna do? Oh yeah, dead. And that is BM. So 2 and 1 with a rogue. I think if we draw the cards in this deck in a reasonable order, then we have a really good chance of just continually pushing through everything. But we need to make sure that we have the correct removal as certain creatures come out. What's funny is that like that deck, no, it was the mage. The previous mage was the one that messed us up. Okay. All right. We get a kobold to start 1 time. See if he has a turn 1 Northshire. He does not. So we're going to play a turn 1 Kobold. And now we have a 2 damage Shiv with draw a card. It's always nice when you can cast a spell that does damage and has the card draw mechanic, and especially with a rogue, you need to really cycle through your cards at a reasonable rate. Okay, so he didn't do anything. Question is, do we hit him or do we save it to make full knives? And I think the answer is hit him. He's a priest and he's going to heal basically every chance he gets. In fact, every chance he gets, he's going to heal, because sometimes he's not going to have the chance. So when he does have the chance, he's going to have to heal. So I think it's really important that we constantly push the damage here. And this time we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and then we make new knives and load them with the full deadly poison attack. It is possible he has an Echoing Ooze, not Echoing Ooze, Acidic Swamp Ooze. Like, that's a card that priests tend to run. Ooze, it's a good early game card for the priest because you can play it on turn 2, and the priest doesn't have a lot of good 2-mana options, minion-wise, and it just like helps mitigate damage here, as you can see. Like, if he had it, he would definitely save a lot of problems. Okay, so that's now got 5 health. Well, I can do 5 damage with this if I can combo it out. So we'll shoot his face. We'll eviscerate that. And we will keep pushing. Now, turn 5 for a priest is normally Holy Nova, but I haven't got anything on my board. I mean, I've got one small creature, so it will die to Holy Nova, but it would be pretty wasteful. Yeah, he can't be too scared of me doing 2 damage to him at a time with that. Oh, he just keeps making stuff harder to kill, though. Let's see. 2 damage. 2 damage. 2 damage. 3 damage. 3, I need 3, 2, and 2. So we're going to do 2. 2. 3. And that's not too bad. Now we've got him, down below 20. We're developing a board that's going to be able to keep applying pressure, so he can't just heal, but he's going to have to use his mana to try and play some minions and, get some answers out. Okay, Shadow Word Pain. And then heal. But if that's his whole turn, it's not great for him. Looking like turn 6 is going to be Ogre Magi and Knives. Magi. I confuse myself. I don't even know if by the end of the video series I'll have decided what I want to call this guy. All I know is he's kind of badass when you play spell damage decks. Okay, so that was weird. He didn't heal himself. He might have just left. See if it just starts. Okay, no, so I guess he's still here. Maybe he disconnected or something. But to not heal himself just kind of screams like, oh, I'm done with this game. I can't see why else he would have missed it. And then there's the case where people know they're losing. They're mad they're losing. They don't see a way out. So instead of just playing or conceding, they decide they're going to punish the person who's beating them by maxing out on the full 90 seconds of their turn every turn, as if taking an extra minute and a half for the next 3 turns is going to make me not want to kill you. Of course, it just makes me want to kill you more. It's going to make me want to find a way to kill you faster. So, whatever, buddy. Don't be salty. Play the game. Let me kill you. There you go. See, I told you he's left. Boo! 3 and 1. It's always nice beating a priest with a rogue because their hero power counteracts your hero power by quite a bit. If you were trading a hit on their face for one of their heals, like you're doing 1 damage, they're healing 2 damage, like it's never going to work.
I will fight with honor.
Unlikely we're going to need our Blade for Flurry that early, especially considering we hold Fan of Knives, so we're going to go ahead and try and pull out some of those little minions. Fail. So many levels. None of these cards are useful until turn 3. Now this might seem odd considering what I've said about hero powers, but the rogue hero power is okay to do it with, and we're going to save it, but it's likely on turn 2 that he plays a dude, and we want to be able to kill it, and then if he plays a dude on turn 3, we want to be able to kill that guy as well. That was neither. That's shielded mini-bot. That's fine. We hit it, and we put this out. And now he should trade, but it's likely that he won't. He might want to just, go for face, especially if he plays something like Muster for Battle. What we really don't want to see is a Cog Hammer. Okay, he trades. And then he plays Muster for Battle. Well, that's fine, because we're going to play Fan of Knives. And draw a card. And I don't know if I want to hit him in the face. We're going to save the ping on this one, just in case he makes a dude. If he plays like a 2-drop and a dude, then we can just kill the dude. Going for this 2-drop. And a dude. Now I said we were going to kill the dude, but we want to get rid of the shielded mini-bot. So we're going to pop him. We're going to hit him in the face with Sinister Strike. And that allows us to combo out the SI7 agent and kill the mini-bot. So we did want the knife charge, which we otherwise wouldn't have been able to use had we hit him in the face on the previous turn. So it's a good thing we saved the knife charge. Knowing your opponent is a big part of the game. It's part of the battle, and knowing like you're playing a paladin, so you're going to want that one attack more often than not is part of how this game works. So, next move is play this to draw, and we kill the little one because we could trade here, but it's going to mean that this spawns another creature. And if it spawns another creature, that creature might have enough attack so that he can kill these together. If we don't kill this, he's going to trade here, but then this will still be alive. So, we're doing it this way. He wants to see what he gets. Wow, I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. The spiders are pretty good, but you kind of hope out of this Paladin Shredder that you're going to get actually a higher attack minion. Okay. I would like to combo him out, which I'm going to have to do it this way. So that's another good reason for Sinister Strike. It allows us to do that, and I wanted to make knives, which is what I'm doing here. Kill that, and then kill the dude. Alright, and that actually, plays pretty well for us. What's he going for? Hammer of Wrath. Okay, then I guess he's going to go face-face here. Obviously, he doesn't need to save his ping. Ping is what you call it when you do 1 damage in this game. So this is a ping, that was a ping. A 1/1 is kind of like having a ping. Exactly like if you play the Stone Tusk boar that charges, it's the 1/1, that's like a ping. The mage power is the ping. It's the best ping. Ping ping. Okay, we're playing this guy, we're killing him, and we're making new knives. Like I said in the last game, you want to be able to end a turn with fresh knives, if at all possible. You don't want to jeopardize the overall strategy of the game, how it's developing, doing that every time, but certainly if it's an option, it's a good way to go. And for us, it's an option because this is a perfectly fine card. Now he's going to kill it and prove me wrong and say, oh, well, you could have... If I played Archmage, that wouldn't be a problem, and I wouldn't have knives. So we don't really need Kobold for Blade Flurry in this one. But we do need to Blade Flurry here. Since we're going to put some damage on his face with it, then we may as well. So, hit him. Blade Flurry. Make new knives. Now see, we could Blade Flurry again and finish these off, but I want to save this in case we need to do a big attack on a much bigger board, which obviously can happen. And we're still, I mean, we're on turn 9. We're just getting to the halfway point through our decks, and since we just used one blade, okay, there's Sylvanas. Since we just used one Blade Flurry, we kind of want to save the other. The only thing scary about this board is her. The rest of it is manageable. Oh, what a great card for us. So we'll send all those back.
Here we go.
Hit him. Make new knives. So now he's going to play all of those again, but it saves us being attacked for a turn where now we're both getting quite low on life. It's better that I have the chance to now come out with a new answer, which is going to be, you know, like a Tank Oil Blade Flurry sort of combo. That's going to cost 6 mana, so I need a card that costs 4 or less mana, and preferably a minion, so that it really threatens. We need that Blade Flurry, that's for sure. Look at him. Look at him fighting back and going for it. So frustrating when you don't actually get the little baby. It would have been nice to have spell damage +1. Could have made sure we killed that, and it'd be real close. But I cannot afford another turn. I will die if I don't get rid of all this shit.
Here we go.
And now we really need to draw like Eviscerate, and in fact we've got Sprint, so we'll be able to get Eviscerate and Deadly Poison on the same turn. Damn it, he's just healed 8. So Eviscerate and Deadly Poison unfortunately is not going to be enough. Having said that, to do 5, 4 plus 3 is 7. We can do 7 damage, get him there, get him close. He's going to need to find 6 damage. And we don't have any more Blade Flurries, so saving this weapon is not such a big deal, considering what we need to do now is find a way to kill him pretty quickly. Wow, he's healing up pretty hardcore here. I don't think actually now we're going to be able to kill him. That's kind of sad, because we were really doing well there, but we just didn't get the right cards in the right place. Okay. Let's see. How can we do this? Kill that. Kill that. Kill that. Make knives. Hope he can't find 7 damage, and then maybe... See, we've used all our spells, and now we just got all our minions. It's gonna be tough, guys. It's gonna be tough to win this one.
I have no time for games.
There's Sylvanas. Make it a 1-attack minion. And now he has lethal on the board. And I don't think we have any way to deal with it. 3. I could do... That's going to cost 3. That makes it 7. Do 4 damage across the board. Okay. So this is the play, I guess. That. And then these have to trade, which is unfortunate. I hope she gets this one. That's fair enough. And then Hopefully we don't die. A Consecration is worth 3. A Hammer of Wrath is worth 3. If he had one of each... Sorry, it was worth 4. If he had one of each, I die. And if he has Blessing of Kings, I also pretty much die. And he has a quality Consecrate, so I know I die. Good game, sir. Oh, he even killed me before I could concede. Right. 3 and 2 with the Rogue. What should we do? Should we play one more? If I lose and we're even, I mean, we're out on the plan anyway, and if I win, then to be 4 and 2 and finish this little video is probably way better than 3 and 2. So here we go. One last game with the Rogue. Either way, we're going to end it after this, but yeah, if we lose, then you can see that maybe this deck's like, I mean, even I can say it, even if we win, this deck is a little bit iffy because there's a few spots where we could definitely pull out 1 or 2 cards and just add in something that's much more effective, or some health. Who knows, you know what I mean? But just to highlight the basic cards in this deck that go with the basic spell damage buff cards, I think we've done a pretty good job. And we don't have the coin, so we don't need him on turn 3, but we can still use him on turn 4, so we'll get rid of that. And what we want to do is we want to try and make sure that on turn 4 we have fresh knives going into it. And that's part of the pre-planning. It's part of looking at how when you mulligan, like the way your hands are going to develop, the options you want to have, and how soon you're going to be able to do the things that you see that you're capable of doing. So it's pretty likely that on this next turn I'm going to just hit her again and then make Moon Knives, so we'll be working fine going into turn 4. There's a small possibility I'm going to have to eviscerate something that comes out, but it's really unlikely that I would waste it there. Okay, that would be great if she just pings us. And this is a fun thing to talk about in one sense. Basically, what you see here is that, you know, the mage ping for 2 mana does 1 damage, and then my ping for 2 mana does 1 damage, but I get to do it twice. So, how is that better or worse than the mage's ability to do it once? Well, as you can see, I am actually attacking physically with my ability. So every time I hit something, that something does damage to me. And you're going to take damage as you ping stuff away on the board. Whereas as the mage, you can ping anything you want, anywhere on the board, and their face, without having to take any personal damage. And that includes going around taunts. I still have to hit a taunt if there's a taunt in my way. So this power is actually still really good. And that's where the balance comes in, why this one is different from this one. Even though this one gets 2 attacks, you know, there's different issues with it. Now, we actually don't need to use our SI7 agent here, which is really funny because we almost shouldn't. But we may as well just go ahead and start applying pressure. The question is, what is this mage doing? Building up such a heavy hand. Like, are we just going to get obliterated? Has she got something that she can just dump on us? Like, clearly I hadn't done anything in the first few turns that she had to worry about threats on the board. But now I'm really interested to see what sort of cards are going to come out. Could be a mech mage, could just have a Noyatron. Okay, so now I want to kill this without wasting my attack.
Hey, lights out.
So we're going to use Sinister Strike so we can combo out the SI7. And now she should ping him, which means it's basically going to be a 3 mana turn for her. And if that's the case, then, you know, we just keep rolling. Okay, a Flame Waker. Now she should have a spell. This is the card I was talking about in the previous mage game. I was expecting it, and we ended up losing without seeing any, but their deck was pretty solid to do that. Okay, so what's the 1 mana spell? Game Missiles? Coin. That's even better, because now they get to do a 2 mana spell. Look at this guy going to work. Frostbolt face. Arcane Explosion. Takes 2 damage to my face. Very nice. Fan of Knives is not really going to get me anywhere great, but the card draw is going to be useful. See, this is where having spell damage +1 would really help to have it on the board. How bad is it? We're going to be able to eviscerate for 10. Might be really greedy of me. I'm going to do it this way. So what do we mean by greed? We mean that we had an opportunity to kill the Flamewaker. And, I mean, now the worm is going to get buffed too, so every time she plays a spell, I'm going to take 2 damage to the face from the Flamewaker. I'm going to get extra damage from the worm. But the plan was that, like, the spells I have in hand are strong enough to really do some serious face damage, and if we can see ourselves getting close to that, it'd be nice to be able to pull it off. But now that she's played the Senji, it's making me a little more concerned for myself. So we're doing that. Now we do 2 damage across the board. And I think we have to eviscerate that. And we have to kill that. Okay. We got 1 eviscerate left. We've got our Blade Flurries in here. And now we're going to be able to start developing our board with these bigger minions. So hopefully we're not going to be in too bad shape now. That's fine. It will build up quickly. Well, just get this party started. And now, unfortunately, I think we have to use our second eviscerate. It's fine. We cleared a high health minion that become a threat really fast. Next turn she's going to ping it again before she hits me, and it's going to have 8 attacks, so that's kind of worth getting rid of. Watch this get polymorphed. She might fireball ping it. But polymorph's definitely the better play here. She got a frostbolt to go with that? Yes. That's fine. We get to play both of these. We also get to draw a bunch of cards soon. So it's not like we're really hurting, other than... now see, here's another thing. Playing both of these leaves us pretty open to Flame Strikes. We're going to play 1. A Shiver for 2. And I don't draw anything useful, so we can make knives and hit her again. So what can we get here that's going to help us win this game? Blade Flurry and Tank Oil. And we won't be able to use them on the same turn that we sprint. Should be useful to kill that thing. I mean, we're going through it anyway, so don't kill him. Wow, so after using 2 spells to kill the 4/7, she uses the polymorph to kill the 1, or the 4/4. Do the sprint. Play this bad boy. And actually, let's see here. Can we afford to take this hit? 2 puts us at 15, and then they can hit me again on their turn, which puts me at 13. And then I don't think she's used her fireballs. I think that's what she's saving them for. So we have to pass the turn. That's why we maybe didn't see a fireball on the Archmage, because we would be in the reach. Oh, Nefarian. Really interesting here. So this minion, when played, gives you 2 spells from your opponent's class. So now she's got 2 of my, not 2 of the spells I hold, but 2 of the spells that come from the rogue class. They could be Eviscerates, they could be Deadly Poison, which would be great if she pulled Deadly Poison. Can we win? Make knives. him. I really need this to land on him. We lose. Yeah, and we lose because of that. Specifically because of that. Because she has a fireball. You have to do 6 damage to everything. It's just so harsh. Because now if she doesn't have the... I mean, she's got to kill us, basically. But, like, for example, if they don't have a fireball or a frostbolt... Oh, they still gang up. Okay. Then they can't kill me on this turn, and I'm pretty close. I think we're getting killed. Gotta be a fireball. This is some BM. No, there's a real fireball. Okay, never mind. Good game, sir. And that is 3-3 with the rogue. So that's the first video where we actually lost 3 games out of our attempts. And in 6 attempts, I mean, as you can see, 50-50. There's probably a couple tweaks we could make here and there to make this deck way more effective. But considering this was all basic cards and you see the basic spells, I mean, we didn't get to play them all in the right order sometimes and in the ways that they would have been most effective. But it was still a fun little exercise. So yeah, there you go. The rogue, spell damage rogue. And next time it looks like it's going to be the priest. Praying I don't die. I hope to see you guys then. Good luck in all your Hearthstone adventures. Don't forget to use your hero power every time you get a chance.